Hello, my name is Mercury, and welcome to this brand new episode of Media Fae. Today I am alone. Today I'll be discussing the second season of Sonic Prime. So yeah, taking quite a while to actually get something out. Sorry about that, but we're back, and you might notice that there is a little bit of a change in our schedule. So you might notice that if you followed us on Twitter or Instagram, which I know not a lot of people do, you might have noticed that I put out a thing saying that these episodes this episode's coming out this time. I announce episodes. Basically, I announce episodes basically, like for the entire month. I won't be doing it anymore. I'll be doing it weekly now instead of going all by month because things change, and that's just a thing. That's just how it works. Things change, and there is no there's no way to really tell because when things are coming out and when things don't come out and when we don't do things at the time. That's why we are 4 episodes behind, technically 5, counting the Media Consumer stuff was supposed to come out today, Friday. So again, sorry about that. But yeah, we are catching up. We got a lot of catching up to do. That's what we are gonna be focusing on because it's been quite a while since the last episode came out, and I wanna really get back to it and really get those episodes out so we can get it over with. We have episodes from last week that we haven't recorded yet, and I want to get done with for October to fully be normal, like just normal. Just everything comes out the way it's supposed to come out. I will be doing it instead of the whole month. I'll be doing it in a week, like every episode for that week instead of just doing it for the month. But yeah, you might have noticed is that if getting back to that point, you might have noticed is that what you might have noticed is that if you followed us, you might have noticed that I said that there was going to be a Transformers 1 Trailer 2 discussion episode. And that never came out. And then this episode, the one for Sonic, was going to come out. It was supposed to come out afterwards. The reason for that is that when things get delayed and when things get delayed, certain things come out, and that episode for the Transformers 1 Trailer 2 discussion was going to be released a day before the movie. And obviously it's going to wait for the movie, and that episode didn't come out. So I canceled it. And I know, and also if you followed us on those platforms, you might have noticed that I said that the State of Play episode, or the episode focusing on the Sonic Central and State of Play that premiered both on the same day, was going to come out this Sunday. That's no longer the case. That is going to be replacing the Transformers 1 episode as part of, I guess, will be like it'll be replacing that one. So yeah, it'll be coming out earlier than expected. You'll probably see either today or tomorrow. That's when you'll probably be seeing that episode come out, since it's now taking that kind of place. Just not mess up the order anymore. I don't think we'll be getting anything really big in October. I don't hope so. I don't think so. But yeah, we'll be. If anything does happen in October, we'll probably be. We'll probably try to get it just to get it out with and done with and all that. But we will be doing episodes instead of doing the whole month. So things you don't know when things are coming out. We'll be doing them bi-week instead. Just because it's easier for us. It's just easier to announce things for the week instead of just doing what we were doing right now. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. I know a lot of the episodes have been just me going off of stuff that for the podcast, but yeah, that's all I want to say. That this episode comes after that, is coming after Tokyo Vice Season 2, and that's the reason why you're not seeing the Transformers 1 trailer 2 discussion or whatever, and that's why you'd probably be seeing the State of Play episode a lot earlier than I expected. But yeah. Or maybe not a lot earlier, but definitely, a little earlier than it's supposed to come out. Like a little earlier than it's supposed to come out. But aside from that, there's nothing else that is going to interrupt it. I don't think October has anything really new that we want to cover. But yeah, aside from that, let's just kind of move on. It's Sonic Prime Season 2. This is I covered the first season of Sonic Prime a year ago, almost 2 years ago, and I didn't cover I didn't watch the rest of the seasons, and I know that very earlier this year, season 3 came out, and so we're just gonna get straight into it. I think it's gonna be a shorter episode because I don't have a lot to say about Sonic Prime Season 2. But yeah, no, I reviewed season 1 quite a while ago, and I haven't watched it now. I want to watch the rest of the series. It might take us a while to actually get through the series proper. There's a lot of stuff we want to catch up on. But yeah, so let's just get straight into it. Yeah, okay. So, Sonic Prime Season 2, where do we start off with? Unlike last time at Tokyo Vice, where we kind of start off the characters because there was no real like special effects to talk about. This does have like an animation, the animated show, of course. So I want to talk about the animation. It is the exact same as last season's, and last season's animation is just fine. Like it's not there's not a lot of way to hours to grow when it's like a year off and it's probably animated all at once, or at least for a few months in between each other. So there's not a lot to actually really talk about the animation. It's just the same. There isn't anything really spectacular about it. It's just normal, and it's just average animation. It does not. There isn't. I don't think there's any cool fight scenes. It's just kind of average. And there's nothing really wrong with that. I think that's fine. It's just kind of. There's nothing really spectacular about the animation, but it's not bad either. It's not unwatchable. It has its like. It has its qualities, but it's not the best. It's not even. It's not the best animation you've ever seen. It's okay. It's okay, like above average animation. Like it's just in that ballpark of average. And like that's fine, but it's not. There's not much to write home about the animation. So yeah, like I said, it's short, and that's I think it's kind of disappointing that they didn't really take it to the next level with this season, or even the show as a whole. But I guess we'll get into that later when I actually talk about like the plot and what I thought of it. But animation doesn't do anything new, but it doesn't like ruin it either. It's just kind of there, to be honest. So let's talk about some characters. I think this is one of the show's weakest points, to be genuinely honest with you. And let's talk about the main character, Sonic. Okay, so a lot of people in the Sonic community, which is a phrase I didn't think I would utter ever on the podcast, but we get to it at some point. The Sonic community, at least don't agree, kind of to a degree. Like it's a very popular opinion that this version of Sonic is kind of annoying. I didn't see that first season. Like annoying kid like like very kid like. Just not cocky. Like it's just kind of a pretty dumb Sonic. I didn't agree to that statement in the beginning, But I definitely do now, especially this season. This season, Sonic just does a lot of dumb, like not a lot of dumb decisions, but definitely doesn't realize things that he should have realized. Uh, he should have realized beforehand. I should mention that I probably don't remember a lot of this season specifically because I like Tokyo Vice and like the next review we're gonna have. I watched this series as uh, I watched this series as part of like my like, Japan trip. So that was quite a few months ago. So I'm just getting into it now since I wanted to watch this and it was part of the things I wanted to cover. So yeah, Last of Us was on that list. Last of Us, no, Sonic Prime and Last of Us were on that list. That is gonna hurt my ears. No, it's not. Okay. If the audio is a bit weird, I am recording this in a completely different like area than what I usually record. So yeah, sorry about that. But yeah. Anyway, Sonic is kind of like he's annoying. He doesn't really realize stuff. He's just kind of, I think, not a very good version of Sonic. I don't like this version of Sonic. He's just, I can't really give examples, but just trust me. And if you speak to anyone who's really watched this show, it's a big complaint about the about the show. It's just like Sonic does things that are just kind of weird, and he doesn't realize things that are kind of on the nose, and that's very apparent in this season. And I don't think, and I don't know if it's gonna get better because it got worse. So when we get to season 3, we'll see. But yeah, that's Sonic. And next up is 9. So 9 was an interesting position at the end of season 1, where he got like captured by, I don't know if it even was like the start of this season, but he was captured by the Eggman Corp or whatever the hell they're called, the Chaos Council, the Chaos Council. He was captured by the Chaos Council, and he was made to work. They made him work for them. And I think it's interesting that you're having like a spy in these ranks, and he's kind of a nothing character really, and I don't really like care about him that much. But I do think it's interesting to have a version of Tails that becomes like a villain, especially towards the end. I think it was towards the end of this season that we see him a Sonic kind of reject stuff, and that's kind of like one side about Sonic. He doesn't really realize things, and it doesn't realize that he's kind of hurting 9. But I feel like this twist comes kind of not. It doesn't really build up to that much, and I don't really like it. So there's that specific thing about it. So what I say, what I think, is that like the 9 could be a cool villain. It could be a cool villain if it's just kind of handled differently. I think he has an interesting like turning point where Sonic doesn't really listen to him. He is hurt by Sonic's action. I think that could have been handled differently, but in a better way. But I think it's just, I don't think it was very well handled. But let's see how it goes in the third season, because that's gonna be the villain of the third season. So we'll see how it goes with the third season. But right now, Nine's turn to like villainy isn't really convincing me all that much. I don't know about you. I don't know about you guys, but yeah. Next up is a character that was in season 1 but didn't really do much, and that was Shadow. So I think Shadow is an interesting addition here, and definitely does a lot of... Definitely sets Sonic on the right path. I think he's a necessary addition here because he takes this very seriously. And another thing about Sonic, he doesn't really take this stuff very seriously. And I like that Shadow does. But what I don't really like about this character, the plot pretty much makes him useless. Aside from some stuff within the narrative that he does, but aside from that, he's clearly useless. He can't go anywhere aside from the ghost dimension that the other characters are in. That's just the only thing that actually he can actually do, and he doesn't really do much in the show. I don't think. I like that he tries to betray Sonic and do stuff, and that's when he does that he can't go anywhere. But yeah, I think it's just Shadow I think is a little wasted here, but I think it's necessary. It was a little necessary to really get Sonic in the right track because he's a much more serious character than Sonic. So yeah, that's all I really got to say about Shadow. Next up is Dread. Dread was an is it Dread had a character in season one. Yeah, he was an interesting character in season one. I can give him that. He was interesting in season one, but the thing is, I think at least just in this season, he was dumbed down to his bare bones. To just his bare bones character of wanting the treasure, the prism. That's literally all he wanted was the prism. There goes my notebook. Okay, the prism. You know, I wanted the prism. Get it back, and he's one of the few characters to actually cross between dimensions, and that isn't really played with a lot, and that's kind of sad. Like, he is like he doesn't really played with a lot, and I just don't know if I really like that. Dread is a very weird character because he's definitely used a little bit, but he's not a he's not a very essential character, but he's made up to be one. It's just weird. It's just a weird thing what they're doing with this character. He might come back in season 3. I have no idea. But yeah, that's all I really gotta say about Dread. Next up is Rusty, which Rusty I think has like some moments that I think are kind of cool, like the fact that her and the pirate Amy Rose get along with each other quite a bit. I like that about those two. I like that about those two. But aside from that, yeah, no, I don't think I'll say about Rusty. I like that she turned to good. It's a bit of a sudden turn about her being left behind by the Chaos Council. That's all I really gotta say. About Rusty. So there, I put some other characters, but the only one I really talk about is Chaos Sonic, the Metal Sonic version of this show's version of Metal Sonic. And I think it's an interesting way to take Metal Sonic to just make him legitimately a worse Sonic. Like just take Sonic's personality and just make it absolutely like just unbearable down up to 11. And I think that could have been interesting to see. But the thing is like he doesn't really do much, and Sonic doesn't really learn anything like from defeating Chaos Sonic. And he's just there for one episode. I think Chaos Sonic and the Metal Sonic concept were kind of wasted potential, really. That's what I think. I think it's wasted potential, mainly because they don't really do much with it, and it's just there for one episode. I don't care about Chaos Sonic. I think it could have been a cool concept, but he's just kind of there. And the fact that he was built by 9 really isn't like a big talking point in the show. So yeah. That's what I think. I don't know. Anyways, that's all to say about the characters. Again, there's not really much to say about them. They're not really that interesting. Let's go over the plot. I think the plot is just kind of subpar. It's just kind of average. It's an okay plot. It's mostly continuing off of what Season 2 had, and kind of going off stuff that Sonic does in Season 1. Sorry, Season 1. I don't know why Season 2, but it goes off of what Season 1 had and kind of builds up on that. But one of the things I don't like is that it seems like the writers have written themselves into a corner with the show with only having those like 5 or like those 4 dimensions, right? It was like 3 dimensions, I don't remember. Like 3 or 4 dimensions that they have in the show. And that's kind of bad because there's not a lot of variety. What I learned from this, like, what I was waiting for this show was that Friendly Sonic Prime was going to be like a full-on multiverse show about having all these different Sonics, it's like all these different Sonic dimensions and all that. And that would have been really cool. That would have been really cool to see. But this show turned out not to be that. This show is just it's a multiverse story, sure, but it's like not a good. It's not like a very captivating multiverse story. It's just kind of there, and I think that's just the fact that season 2 doesn't really feel that special because there's just a lack of variety in the cast and in the worlds. So everything, if you want season 1, you're not getting anything new in season 2 aside from maybe Chaos Sonic and the fact that the plot's moving forward. But aside from that, like there's not a lot of variety. There's not a lot of new things to really experience in season 2. And that's kind of, I don't know, and that's just, for me, that's a bit disappointing. That's disappointing for the show to have. It's just not very good, I think. It's not a very good decision, and it really, it really disappointed me. It really did disappoint me. But let's talk about the future, since I have not watched season 3. I think, like I said, 9 can be a cool villain, but I don't know how they will handle it, especially the writing of this season. And in this season, next season is a bit short. It's in 1 episode shorter, so we'll see how they go ahead and like do the show and wrap it up. But yeah, we'll see how it wraps up. I don't think they'll introduce anything new to the show. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'll have to wait and see to see how the show ends. So yeah. So putting this into the tier list, this gets a C tier. It's just okay. It's not bad. Like, I don't think this show does anything bad, but everything it doesn't do it well either. It's just an okay watch. It's not. It's fine for kids. I think that's what its main demographic is, but it's just kind of nonsense going on. That's really all I gotta say. I think it's just a C tier. So, yeah. What did you guys think of the second season of Sonic Prime? Leave in the comments below. All of our socials are in the YouTube description, so go check those out if you want to. And yeah, that's about it. See ya.